faru suna magana kuna shi musu kamar Zakariya dan Allah nan ba hanya ba dan zagaya sorry zagaya wai shi ba dai kasu da kai amma me yasa ake mana haka
Baba Ahmed is the Secretary General, Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. We have with us Colonel Sambo, who is the Chief Security Officer of Ireland, as well as Madam Sani, who is the Chairman Student Forum. You are all welcome. I will now invite the Chief Imam to give us an opening prayer. Imam.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Da shi muna tare da ɗan uwa dakta kuma retired AIG Sheikh Ahmad Abdulrahman, zan ba shi ya buɗe mana wannan taro da addu'a insha Allah ta'ala.
Za mu kuma da yi mana fassara ko da minti biyu na abin da ya gabata. To, musulman da marubacin jama'a, wato abu biyu ne bayan mun kaddamar da shi ambasada wa wanda ya yi karatu na ilimin tattalin arzikin ƙasa da kuma yadda ake tafiyar da idara, wato manager ya yi karatu a nan ƙasar Falastin a Ramallah, kuma ya zama wakilin Falastinawa a Amerika wajen shekara 8, yanzu kuma an turo shi ya yi shekara 1 a Najeriya. Shi ne ambasada da aka ba shi wato izini ya zartar da duk wani abu daga na maslahar ƙasar shi ne. Bayan haka na yi bayanin cewa abubuwa guda biyu muke so kula da su. An samu shugabannin ƙasa guda 3 wanda yake a fata jikinsu daban-daban, yarensu daban-daban. Ɗaya bature, ɗaya baki, ɗaya kuma mutumin wato Sam, mutumin Isra'il. Shi farin baturen nan shi ne Jini Kata. Ya yi littafi ne ya ce zaman lafiya Falastin take nema ba wariya ba. Da aka soke shi cewa ya zai ce ana wariya Isra'il, zai ƙara fitowa ya ce abin da ke faruwa a West Bank, wato ainihin abin da ke faruwa wariyar fata ne. An ware wani an mai da su wato saniyar wato wanda kuma bai dace a wannan zamani. Haka kuma Nelson Mandela ya ce shi yancin da ya samu bayan shekara 27 a kulle yana yakin wariyar fata. Ya ce wannan yancin da zai cika ba matuƙar mutanen Falastin ba su samu yancin su ba. Sannan kuma an samu shi kan shi shugaban Isra'il Ehud Barak, shi ma ya ci irin abin da yake faruwa a ƙasar su da cewa ɗan Falastin bai da iko ya zaɓe, bai da yanci kamar sauran mutane. Ya ce to wannan ba zai kawo su zaman lafiya a ƙasa ba. Saboda haka mutane uku su nuna ita gwamnatin Isra'il gwamnatin wariya ce. To mu Najeriya mun yaƙi gwamnatin South Africa na wariya, muka taimaka wa ANC, muka taimaka wa Mandela. Saboda haka in dai gaskiya muke so, tun daga wani mulkin wariya a ƙasar Palastin, wanda kuma ba kawai wariya ba, yana kashe mutane wanda 'yan South Africa ba sa yi. Ya kamata Najeriya mu fito da harshe ɗaya mu ce ba mu yarda da mulkin wariya ba, da shaidar mutanen da aka yarda da su a duniya. Sannan kuma abu na biyu shine tausayin ɗan adam. Abin da ke faruwa a Gaza, duk wanda ya sa ido ya gani ana yin haka, bai san da nashi za ta jiyo ta same shi ba. An ce in wato ya kamata kenan dukkan mu haɗu mu ce United Nations, wato Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya ta yanke ta tsaya da yakin nan. Amerika ta sa hannu a tsayar da wannan yakin nan. Sannan duk wanda ya jikata a je a taimaka mishi, a ba shi magani. Sannan kuma duk wanda aka same shi dumu da ya laifi na yaƙi a kama shi, domin laifi ne a kulle wa mutane ruwa da abinci da lantarki, laifi ne a zagaye mutane a hana su fita, laifi ne a dinga jefa ma wuraren ibada da wuraren karatu da asibiti, laifi ne a dinga jefa ma wato 'yan jaridu da likitoci da wasu mutane da gidajen mutane ba, duk laifi na jefa wasu ba, wanda duk laifi ne. Kuma ga shi an gani a gidan mutane, kowa yana gani abin da ke faruwa yanzu da muke magana nan ana cikin wannan hali. Saboda haka da murya ɗaya 'yan Najeriya musulmi da wanda ba musulmi ba haɗu gaba ɗaya, kada ba mu ɗaya ba mu yarda da mulkin wariya ba. Na biyu ko mu yarda a dinga cin zarafin ɗan adam, ana cutar da shi, muna kallo. Muna kiran gwamnatin Najeriya ita ma ta bada nata gudunmuwa. Ga gwamnatin India ta bada gudunmuwa wanda ya kai miliyan 30 ta bayar da gudunmuwa ta aika shi a shiga da shigar na kayan abinci da kuma abubuwan magani. To duk ne ya fi kamata mu wannan suna son kasa ce da tausayi mai taimakawa duniya. Ba da wannan takaitaccen abu shi ne ya kamata za mu mika zuwa ga masu kaddamarwa su ci gaba da abin da suke yi. Wasallallahu ala nabiyina Muhammad. Muna godiya, Allah ya saka da alheri. I will now invite His Excellency Abdullah Abu Shawesh to give us his remarks. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the preparation and all the effort. Your Eminent, Honorable Your Excellency, and High Commander, brothers, gentlemen here, thank you so much for being here today. I'm gonna update you about the last and of the latest press release that we prepared. The war did not start October 7th, as Israel and the occupation club would like everyone to believe. It started long time ago, only one day before Friday, October 6th. Israel killed 7 innocent Palestinian civilians in West Bank. All the problem-solving method is stressing toward tackling the roots of the problem, not to deal with the symptoms. This is exactly what the UN Secretary General did a few days ago when he said what happened in October 7 does not come from the vacuum. Since October 7, the Israeli occupation force launched a wide and frenzied war against the Palestinian people in Gaza Strip and occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. In this regard, here are some statistical figures that shed light on the unfolding crime of the genocide that is still running on Gaza. The total number of murders since October 7th reached more than 6,000. This is according to yesterday statistics, but till today it was exceeded the 7,000 persons. 70% of them are children, women and elderly, while 1,800 civilians
sustained various 18,000 civilians sustained various levels of injuries, and more than 1,500 is missing under the rubble. The death toll in the occupied West Bank reached till today 110, not 112, because 6 Palestinians was killed this morning, and 900 sustained various levels of injury. 37 of the health workers were killed, while 100 injured. 12 hospitals and 32 health centers were out of service due to the direct attack or running out of fuel. 25 ambulances became out of service due to the Israeli attack. Some of the weapons used by Israel, the occupying power, melts the skin of the people, and it needs special treatment that is not found in Gaza. Surgical operations were performed without anesthesia, using the light of telephone, and wounded were treated on the floor of the corridors. It was due to the crowded hospitals, the lack of hygiene and the clean drinking water. Due to the lack of hygiene and the clean drinking water, many diseases began to appear, such as smallpox, scabies, and diarrhea. The number of internally displaced persons in Gaza Strip is about 1,400,000. Displaced with other relatives, families, United Nations schools, mosques, church, and other public places. The number is still increased. More than 181,000 housing units were damaged by the aggression, including more than 27,781 units completely destroyed. In the occupied West Bank, the Israeli occupation force executed 91 Palestinians since October 7. It's not 91, it's 110 now. Many of them are children. 6,500 Palestinians detained since the beginning of this year. Among them, 1,215 since October 7. Mr. Omar Darabman, 58 years detained in October 8, and Arafat Yasser Hamdan, 25 years detained in October 22, had been killed as a result of the torture they had been subjected to in the Israeli jail. The far-right wing, extremist and racist Israeli Minister Ibn Tamar Ben-Gvir began a massive campaign to distribute weapons to the Jewish settlers in the West Bank, which will lead to more crimes against the Palestinians over there. We strongly condemn the brazen and unjustified campaign launched by the Israeli leader and their Western supporter against the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, for telling the truth about what is happening in Gaza. This also fell within the policy of the silence, intimidation, and terrorism that Israel pursues against everyone who criticizes this criminal behavior and demands the implementation of the international humanitarian law. The moral duty of the media is to present and broadcast reality and the truth. But unfortunately, this was not the case. The majority of Western media participated in and still participating in spreading the Israeli propaganda. The death toll among the Palestinian journalists reached 22. Yesterday, 2 days ago, the Israeli Air Force deliberately attacked Al Jazeera correspondent Wael Dahdour home and killed his wife and 2 of his children. I would like to remind you all that 1.5 years ago, the Israeli occupation army deliberately again assassinated his colleague Shireen Abu Akleh. in the occupied West Bank. This is another attempt from Israel to stifle the voices of the truth. It is unfortunate that we have all witnesses and are still witnessing the unprecedented pilgrimage of some pro-Israeli Western leaders to provide their full military and political support for the current genocide and use extremely unbalanced language in commenting on the currently ongoing war against the Palestinians, giving the Israeli occupation the green light to commit more massacres that for sure will raise the number of innocent people to be killed on the upcoming days and increase the mass destruction of the Palestinian homes and infrastructure alongside the deepening of and entrenching of Palestinian human suffering, especially among the children and women. It is a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call for all, since accepting the trampling of international law, violating the UN Charter, and turning their backs to the current massacres against the innocent Palestinian people means that many countries might be on the line very soon. We all should be remembered that who is standing with the Israeli occupation today is the classical imperialism and colonialism that many of the South countries suffered from, and they support them using the assets and wealth they have accumulated over decades of stealing from the South countries, your countries. Therefore, the day the white bull was eaten, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. The applicability of the international law should not be selective. The hypocrisy and the double standard will only entrench the rift between the countries and within the countries itself. The military solution did not work in the past and will never ever work. The Palestinian people have the full right to self-determination and to be free, the basic and fundamental right that Israel and the Western supporters are completely denying. Thank you so much.
Dr Ahmad Abubakar Mahmud Domin ya buɗe mana gabatar da jawabi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.
Saurara.
The distinguished guest of the high table, His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Abdullah bin Muhammad Abu Shawish. You are all welcome to this interactive press meeting, and we hope it will be fruitful. Before we go on, I will have to give a brief biography of the ambassador. He was born in Gaza, but actually he is from a town, Balfa, which is now in Israel. That is where his father came from. There are 53 towns of Palestinians that are driven out from the old Palestine by the Zionists. His education is in 1997, he was awarded a BA degree in economics as a major and a minor in business administration from the Faculty of Economics and Commerce, President University Palestine, which is in Ramallah. In 2003, he was awarded MA degree in economics from the Faculty of Graduate Studies in the same university. In 2007, he got a professional diploma program in marketing from the Center for Continuing Education in the same university. And in the same 2007, he had a full training course on the project management professional PMP from Project Management Institute in cooperation with Amid Ramallah Palastin. These are the positions he held: Deputy Logistics Officer, Minister of Planning and International Cooperation from 1999 to 2003, and he's also the Councillor and the Permanent Observer Mission of the State of Palestine to the United Nations from 2014 to July 22. And he's today, from August 2022 to present day, is the extraordinary plenipotentiary ambassador of the State of Palestine to the Republic of Nigeria. Before the program, I would also to highlight some very few important things on this ungodly war that is going on in Palestine. We all know that war is inevitable because people have different perceptions and conflict of conflicting interests. However, wars should not be or should not erase our common humanity and turn men into savages of the past. Unfortunately, the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict has already turned into savagery. Currently, the world is witnessing indiscriminate, disproportionate use of extreme force against Palestinian children and women by the state of Israel. The government of Israel has not been described as a state of apartheid and discrimination by many respected figures and scholars. All the violence that took place in the Holy Land is therefore attributed to this cause and this contraption. Here are three gentlemen who are diverse racially and culturally, but they all agree on one fact. It must be true. They are the former President of the United States, Jimmy Carter, who is a Caucasian or a white man. He said in defense of his criticism of his book, he wrote a book, Palestine, Peace, Not Apartheid. In defense, he said, apartheid is a word that is accurate description of what has been going on in the West Bank. And it's based on desire or outreach minority of Israelis for Palestinian land. This is Jimmy Carter. Then the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, who's a black man, he said, we know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of Palestinians. Then the third person is the former Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Barak, who is a Semitic. He said, as long as in this territory, west of Jordan River, there is only one political entity called Israel, it is being either non-Jewish or non-democratic. If this bloc of millions of Palestinians cannot vote, that will be an apartheid state. Nigeria, being a state of Pretoria, apartheid state of South Africa, and has held the ANC, despite being termed as a terrorist organization, we have a moral obligation as a nation to stand with the people of Palestine, because the state of Israel is described by a Caucasian, by a black man, and by a Semitic. All are leaders of their various states that Israel is an apartheid state. There is no reason today where we should not have the Palestinian dismantle this apartheid and have freedom like any other people. My view, Jews, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, and non-Christians have an opportunity to have equal rights in this land. This is a big challenge for our nation. It is the only recipe for a lasting solution and for a peace to prevail. From the humanitarian angle, it is paramount that all nations should assist the afflicted civilians in this unholy conflict with whatever they need to survive. And those involved in war crimes should be brought to book sooner or later. It is a war crime to punish civilians by cutting off water, food, and electricity from them. It is a war crime targeting educational, cultural, and religious places. It is a war crime to attack civilian buildings. It is a war crime to attack hospitals and kill journalists and health workers. it is a war crime to block aid to the injured and displaced citizens. All these crimes are still permitted by the government of Israel as we speak now. On these two important points, it has become obligatory that we extend our hand of humanity and assistance to all innocently affected by the conflict and are deprived of such rights. For that reason, we call on Nigeria as a nation to emulate what India has done. India has sent aid and assistance of about $30 million immediately to Palestine. So if India, a nation in which Muslims are even minority and its Hindu's government can send aid because of humanity, I don't know what kind of heart we have that we as a nation cannot send our aid and assistance to this afflicted population. We seriously believe that the government will listen, and as the ambassador will explain, this conflict is far beyond religious differences. It's far beyond regional interests. It's about humanity. We have to look at how Gaza is bombarded with the most related, most dangerous weapons, killing children and women. Up to now, as I'm talking, there are more than 20,000 victims under the rubble of what Israel has done. We call on the United Nations to stop the war immediately and bring the two sides to a permanent solution based on equal rights for all, with the dismantling of the apartheid system which Jimmy Carter has elaborated. This apartheid has no place in the 21st century. Thank you all for listening. May Allah guide us to peace to the world. Now I'll hand over to the presenter.
Thank you very much, man. Allah ya saka da kai da wannan bayani da mana yayi mana. Distinguished sir.
Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Palestine, you are warmly welcome to Kaduna State. I must first of all express my appreciation to Dr. Gumi for the foresight in organizing and hosting this rally in strong support and solidarity for the people of Palestine. As Nigerians from the northern part of this country, we have three reasons why we should support Palestine. The first is founded in our history as a colonized continent. We fought for freedom, we fought for liberation. And there is no reason why we should not strongly support the aspiration, the quest, and the freedom of the people of Palestine. Secondly, it is a historical fact that the Palestine Liberation Organization has supported the liberation movement in Africa. His Excellency, late Yasser Arafat, has provided material and military support to the ANC and liberation movement in Africa. The State of Israel has supported the apartheid rule in Africa and have always sided with the colonialists in Africa. Our support is a payback for the sacrifice and investment you made in support for our freedom. The third aspect of it, Israel is in breach of international law. The war in Palestine did not start on October 7th. For 70 years, the people of Palestine have been living under apartheid colonialism of the State of Israel. What you see here is an organic support by the people of Kaduna State, hosted by religious clerics, to show you you are not alone. We are with you in body and in spirit. The killing of women and children in Gaza is a crime against humanity. This is a strong message to the people of the Western world that they truly stand for democracy, freedom, and justice. It should be demonstrated in support of the people of Palestine. We will be with you shoulder to shoulder, beginning to the end in this war until Palestine is liberated from apartheid colonialism of the state of Israel. Thank you very much.
We must distinguish for this presentation Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, I would like to recognize the presence of Madam Hayati, the PRP for the gubernatorial candidate. John, to give us a brief remark also.
I'm Pastor George T. John. I'm here from Peace, Revival and Reconciliation Foundation. We have come to identify with our program that are here. We started it yesterday. We sat with the ambassador yesterday. We discussed yesterday. And all we are trying to say through our program that are here, that it is not a war between the Christian and the Muslim. It is what you and I need to understand, that it is not a war between the Christians and the Muslims. You will understand that the church is over here in Palestine, one of the oldest church, it is built. Christians in Palestinians have killed. We were made to understand by the ambassador yesterday, and by the reason of some clips that we are following, we come to believe that the truth of the matter is that we must come together and see how we raise our voice, so that the world will hear and understand that there is every reason for the Israeli to stop what they
For this up-to-date presentations of events in Uganda and Palestine. It's very disheartening. The massless killing, the genocide against the people of Palestine, and the world has turned back its back to the events and to the happenings in Palestine. It's very sad, very disheartening. The genocide going on now against children of 3 months old, 3 days old, married women, pregnant women were masslessly killed. Allah will come to their intervention. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us an up-to-date. Thank you. If we can give a highlight in Hausa, 5 minutes. Okay. He only branch here to show his presence, and I ask him to stay and give us at least 2 minutes. The person.
The members of the press, the I want to thank in reality, the happening in Palestine, whether you are a Judaist or a Jew, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, it's not all about this. It's about humanity. And as long as it's about humanity, let everything be set aside, because then humanity all this will come around and go around. So I'm pleading with religious leaders, most especially in Nigeria. We should understand the situation there and also see what will also pass through Nigeria. Different kind of crisis. We should try and invite the spirit of unity and love towards one another. We have a lot of message to reach out to people there. I mean, us religious leaders. The tension there in the Middle East or in the Palestine is affecting us here in Nigeria, and we cannot pretend. Some have different understanding, different interpretation. They have narrow knowledge about what is happening. Some are even sentimental. Please, let's set that aside. Let's stand and say, what are these tiny kids, innocent kids, harmless human beings, men and female, old and young, are being killed? Let's pray that this will not only stop or whatever contribution we're going to make to see that there's peace in Palestine. Let's do it. If we do that, we're doing it to ourselves and we are preparing a better future for ourselves. Thank you for giving the opportunity to give these few words. May God bless this meeting and may God help the Palestinians to have their liberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Yohana Buru. In spite of his tight schedule, he decided to branch just to throw his presence. Pastor, I wish you a safe journey to Zaria. The next item, I will now invite Aisha, Dr. Muhammad Suleiman. Okay. I will now invite Professor Muhammad Yahya Mujahid to give us an address for just 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, please.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سلك سبيلهم بخير السلوك إلى يوم الدين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I think I am not intending to prolong my discussion, but probably let me make it in a question mode, just to understand the justification of what we are here for. Reflecting from 1948, my question says, who owns the land? This is where we should begin. From 1948, can we go back to the history and see who owns the land and who has the right to live? This is a very serious issue that the world seems to be silent about. And the killing of the Palestinians, the justification of our meeting here, the Christians and the Muslims residing in Nigeria, I am sure the war is directly affecting them. Neither the Muslims were subjected to the massacre or the killing of the Jews, nor the Christians.
both the Christians and the Muslims, the Jews, were out to eliminate. So we have every justification of our meeting here to discuss this issue. And looking at also what the Sheikh Al-Mufti, Doctor, said, can we allow the violation of human sanctity to continue? The world is witnessing everything. The world is witnessing everything. The violation of the human sanctity is so apparent. It's not an issue of, it's not a hidden issue that people should go and search about. People in hospital were not saved. People in places of worship, they were not saved. The civilians were not saved. And if the Jews were claiming the attack made by the Hamas on them, which resulted about killing of 1,000 plus, how many thousands have they killed now? Before the killing of the Hamas over them, what have they been committing to the Hamas or to the Palestinians? These are all issues we need to clearly ask questions about them. And actually, I am not here to make any speech. I'm only here to witness and listen to the presentations. And I'm sure that Muslims should go back and the Christians also should go back to the history and find out who owns the land from 1948. They were being settled and they cannot extradite the owners of the land. May Allah assist the Palestinians. May Allah show His all might over the Jews and those that are there supporting them. We shouldn't be hypocritical in approach. Islam never want to be a hypocrite. We must come out and say the truth and never behave as people that are only out to support other, propagandas, which are also wrong. May Allah guide us right. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
As you said, Prof, we are all witnesses to the happenings in Palestine. As I said earlier on, it's very pathetic. It's very sad. And I think we don't have anything, we don't have any reason to jubilate or to celebrate anything in this country while our brothers and sisters are dying. Nobody should celebrate anything. Da Allah kuma ina son amfani da wannan damar, da Allah a rika saurawa, da Allah mu shigo in ana magana. Yanzu zan gayyaci ɗaya daga cikin manyan bakinmu, wato Secretary General na Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Malam Nafiu Baba Ahmed.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Your Excellency, the Ambassador Plenipotentiary of the State of Palestine to Nigeria, members of the High Table, all protocols observed, I did not come prepared to say anything. However, I'd like to lend my support, which I believe is what is in the heart of every question of human being, to the cause of Palestine. It is incumbent on each and every person with a conscience to express one's irrevocable solidarity with our brethren and both the Christians and Muslims in Palestine. In Nigeria, most of our Christian brethren seem to misunderstand the situation in Israel, between Israel and Palestinians. Unfortunately, it's a failure to situate it in its proper historical context. And of course, the power of propaganda of the Zionists. Fortunately, as the convener had said in his opening remarks, even some of the Jews are coming out, because there is a difference between the Jews and what the Jews stand for and Zionism. There are prominent Jews that have come out recently. One of them, Gordon Levy. Gordon Levy is, I don't know whether he's still the editor of the Haaretz, a very prominent Jew. He came out and said publicly, the Americans who have been the supporters, the fathers and the mothers of Zionism are deceiving themselves, and they are bound to fail. And the state of Israel is bound to fail as long as they continue on the path of injustice. My brothers and sisters, the most important point is that there can never be peace without justice. There can never be peace without justice. And peace is predicated on allowing people to have their dignity and freedom, which are basic rights which the Israelis or the Zionists in Israel, with their supporters in Europe and America, are bent on denying. We have an important role to play by ensuring that Nigeria reverts back to its spearheading position, by spearheading the fight against injustice, just as we did in the 70s and 80s, in the liberation of Southern Africa, in the liberation of South Africa, Republic of South Africa, Namibia, Angola, Mozambique, Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. We stood firm for justice, for freedom, for human dignity. And this is exactly what we are calling on all Nigerians to insist that the Nigerian government should stand for and spearhead this fight in Africa in favor of the state of Palestine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The next person is AIT Ahmed Abdurrahman.
Remark to make. Apart from our general support and solidarity to our brothers in Palestine who have been massacred on daily basis by the Israeli forces, and our stand on justice for everyone, plus our condemnation of international conspiracy in support of the aggressors, that's the Israeli forces and government, against the Palestinians who are the indigenous and the owners of the ground in Palestine. I want to use this opportunity to draw the attention of Nigerians to see the gold hidden in this conflict. What is that gold? The gold could easily be traced in what I called the Israeli and Palestinian war, which lessons or what lessons for Nigeria. And what I mean by Nigeria, I mean Nigerians. Nigeria is populated by at least 5 groups. 1, the Muslim group. 2, our brothers, the Christian. 3, There are the traditional believers. They worship their different gods as according to their, tradition. Then we also have the fakers, those who feel that there is no God, and even if there is God, is what they feel that is God, that is their God. Then the fifth group is those people that came up recently in support of the Zionist group, and they felt that their religion is Zionism. We have them very insignificant compared to the populations of Nigeria. All these 5 stratas in Nigeria, what lesson do we learn from the Israeli-Palestinian war? We have just seen our brother and my very good friend, Pastor Yohana Bull, who had taken leave because he has a program in Zaria, but yet to bless this occasion, and he has spoken very well. Pastor Yohana Bull, being a Christian, we've been compatriots together ever since, right from the time that I was DC operations and the Commissioner of Police here in Kaduna. We've teamed together and we've been working against injustice, and especially to mitigate against religious crisis and, communal crisis. So what I want Nigerians to learn from this conflict, apart from our unalloyed support to the Palestinians because of the aggression that is meted against them, is that we should look at Palestine and find out that the population is more of Christians and Muslims than any other, and they live together, and they are being killed together and being maimed together by the aggressors. Then, as I was trying to bring a lesson, we were having a group, and in the platform, somebody posted a clip of a clergy, a very senior clergy in Nigeria, a Christian clergy praying for the aggressors against the Palestinians, saying that he himself and his church members internationally are with their brethren in Israel, forgetting their own brethren who are true Christians that are Palestinian, thinking that it is a Muslim Christian affair or Muslim Israeli Zionist affair. Then a very hot argument ensued on the platform. Then somebody, just in order to douse tension, he sent another clip, which became the antidote. And it is said that in Palestine, there are real Christians. And the Christians spoke. And we saw also in the clip that the the Zionist group are telling the Christians that they are idol worshippers and they should also be killed. So the lesson here is that Muslims and Christians, especially Muslims and Christians in Nigeria, we should unite ourselves and practice our religions and see the common ground that our scriptures ask us to behave. We will find out that what joins us together are many than what divides us. Then we should put ourselves, as we saw representative of the Christians here, working together with us and condemning aggression, condemning injustice internationally and domestically. If we do that, then definitely we are going to profit. This is my lesson, and I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see to the end of this appalling situation in Palestine and in the world all over. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The next person is the Chairman, Board of Trustees, Sultan Bello, Madam Idris Balari Chico.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Members of the High Table, His Excellency the Ambassador, our sisters and mothers over there. On behalf of members of the Sultan Bello Management Board, I want to commend the effort of Mufti Dr Ahmad Gagaruminntaron Student Forum for holding this interaction session with the Palestinian ambassador in the precincts of this mosque. Actually, from this presentation, we have seen what is happening and has happened in Palestine. We do not support destruction of man by man. And this enlightening presentation, I'm sure it has put us in the light picture of what is happening. And I believe everybody, especially myself, I'm going out more informed than I came in. And I want to assure you that this enlightenment program will continue with our Imam, Dr. Suleiman Adam. We will continue to enlighten worshippers so that we will be able to make our own contribution. We believe in the freedom of Palestinians, and I want to appeal to everybody here who is going to report what has happened here to actually report exactly what has taken place. And I pray may Allah bring peace to Palestine and in the world in general. Thank you very much.
I will now invite distinguished Senator. Assalamu alaikum. I will now invite His Excellency Abdullah Abu Shawesh to give us a word. Thank you so much indeed. Some comments when it came to the Professor Jad, who owns the land. I just would like to take you all to the Torah itself, the first chapter of the Torah, Genesis. And I will say it in Hebrew also. ויגר אברהם בארץ פלסטין ימים רבים. וסג'ון Abraham in the land of Palestine many days. This is before the God, according to the Torah, before the God gave him the first promise. So that it is our land, as a Palestinian our land, as a Canaani our land, as indigenous people, yes it is our land, and from the Torah, not from the history. I would like to say thank you, of course, to His Eminence, Dr. Yohanna, and Dr. of course, George. I'm not a bit sure whether he's still here or not, but to thank him so much, because a lot of misunderstanding when it came to the cause of Palestine. It seems that there is a lot of misunderstanding, as if it is according to the propaganda, Israeli propaganda, of course, which is fully supported by the Western propaganda or Western media, of course. It seems that, or it was articulated as if it is a war between the Muslim and the Jewish, which is completely not true, and I can brief you many times in this regard. Just one very important thing, one of our best and one of our very strong leaders when it came to the military struggle was George Habas. George Habas, a Christian, and he established and printed the popular front, which started long time ago, the military resistance against the Israeli occupation. George Habas is a Christian, and his assistant also, Haddad, is a Christian. Thank you very much. When it came to the our suffering, no, it's since the Notarial Declaration of Bello, or the Bello Notarial Declaration, when the United Kingdom, whom is your occupier a long time ago, or your
colonialized. Yes, they gifted our homeland, who did not own it. They gifted it in 1917, gifted it to the European Jewish. This is the essence of the book. This is the main source. This is the first attempt. If we want to tackle this problem, United Kingdom is the essence, is the root, is the one who established or is putting the seed to this problem. Israel preached the international. Israel is above the international, and the Western countries are treating it as the spoiling grumpy teenager who can do and trample anything when it came to the international. I spent 8 years in the United Nations here, and I know that what the meaning when it came to the Security Council, it is completely paralyzed body when it came to the Israelis. Completely paralyzed. Our distinguished pastor justice for the all that they are Palestinian, and the Palestinian is Muslim, Christian, and part of us is Jew also. So justice to all the Palestinian people. Mr. Hayat al-Din, Professor Hayat al-Din, indeed, the cause of Palestine, likewise, Mr. Yasser Arafat, our late chairman, once used to say that the cause of Palestine, because it's complete, the most justice cause in the world, should unify and unite the people all around the world, so that you're going to find a lot of Jewish, a lot of Christian, and a lot of Muslim from all around the world supporting this cause, because they know more and they know that this is a very just cause. With that, I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much.